Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back to this. Jesse getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. Yesterday was a one-off. It was like 9:15, whatever. Didn't have a setback on my ankle, thank God. I had a cramp in my foot, so it's the same foot. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't even walk right now. So set me back, took me a little bit longer. Plus, yesterday the nanny caught some traffic as well and was like 10 minutes late. So not a big deal. First time ever that she's ever been late. Uh, so that plus, the cramp in my foot while my ankle has a fracture and a torn ligament, add in a foot cramp, So it took a little bit longer to get going yesterday, but we got it. We're rocking and rolling. And here we are. Here we are, right on the dot as usual. So good morning to everybody. Gert, Jan, Tenhove, 8417. Forgot the dash. Hello. Welcome back. If you're new, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning, even better. Welcome back. First half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, continue to bleed. Not all, but most. And stocks, NASDAQ, SP 500, whatever else jumps out of this on the watch list. Second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. Make sure to put in the ticker symbol. Make sure to let me know if it's crypto or stock or whatever it is, ETF, all that stuff, all the details, so I can keep the live streaming and make sure we just keep the flow going. So we do our best with that. Help me with the algorithms. Smash the like button. Post a comment. Post a question. All that stuff. Share with your friends and family. Share it on the X app. Share on the YouTube app. Whatever app you're on. And let's get going. Bitcoin and the NASDAQ drop. But how far? How far will the drop be, right? So let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin on December 9th had a pending buy signal. Did not close as a buy signal. December 10th had a pending buy signal. Did not close as a buy signal. Probably, pretty sure it had a pending buy signal yesterday. Yeah, I did. I remember posting that. And then maybe for a brief moment here as well. Definitely those 3 days had a pending buy signal and did not close as a buy signal. Did not break out of this longer-term downward trend line, which is acting as resistance since October 6th. Rejected. Couldn't even quite make it all the way up there. And then rejected again. So here we are. This downward trend line is a solid line, just kind of signaling that it's stronger resistance than these dotted lines. That's what I was trying to show visually, that this is stronger downward resistance. So you break through it, it's more significant, but the support isn't as strong. So I put it as a dotted line just for visual purposes. If we get a candle close back below it, get a candle close back below the trading dots, most likely going to retest this support line. And then, of course, if you get a close below there, probably going to take out this $86,000 level, probably going to take out this level, and then candle close below that. Candle close below that, and then we'll be looking at, possibly the Wyckoff, distribution. Instead of playing out 92% of the move, possibly play out 100% of the move. So below $80,000, I'm going to say it's, 95, 96, 98, 100% of what I drew out to come all the way back down to 76,290-ish. So we're keeping an eye on it. You could draw another line out like this, right? Similar to the other one we drew. So again, close below that, close below this one, and then ultimately take out this pivot point with the close below that, then we're going to most likely see this play out 100%. We were talking about if it closes back above this pivot point, then we will retire this Wyckoff chart. It did not close back above there. It closed below it. And so we're not ready to retire it quite yet. I know, Jesse, we're tired of looking at it. Not everybody. So October 8th posted this chart. So it wasn't like I posted the Wyckoff chart like everybody else over here 36 days in when Bitcoin price is already at $100,000 or less. Everyone and their brother was, talking about Wyckoff over here. Nobody put this chart out, to my knowledge. Nobody put this chart out on October 8th. Price was at 123,700 at the time of posting it. And in hindsight, it came all the way down to 80,500-ish below that with a wick. And we'll see if it continues to play out all the way down. Been saying all through this time period, I don't expect it to play out for more than 45 to 60 days. If it does, we'll keep riding that wave. But here we are at day 64. Or no, what day are we on? 66? Let's see. From here to today, 65 days. Craziness, right? So Bitcoin dropped, but how far? If we're breaking these trend lines and we're taking out this pivot point at 84,000, then I'm expecting below 78,000, 76, maybe even a wick below, 74,000-ish, probably right before longer term target 3, probably right above it. Longer term target 3 probably doesn't get hit. Maybe it does with a wick. And then we'd be looking for the bounce / relief rally, right? The bounce / relief rally / Santa Claus rally. So if we do see the prices come all the way back down, that's what we would expect. So we're going to look at the daily chart, the weekly chart, the 2-week chart, 3-week chart, monthly chart. We're going to look at the NASDAQ. There's a pending sell signal on the NASDAQ right now. Not quite yet on the SP 500. The last time I looked, not even 30 minutes ago. So we'll get into all that. But first, we don't have any paid sponsors. We've never taken $1 of affiliate money, not $1. We've been offered 50% of all fees collected from trading exchanges, et cetera. Would have made way more money, but we don't know if it's the next FTX. We don't know if it's the next Celsius. And there's plenty of influencers out there that take affiliate money. And so if you don't take $1 of affiliate money, I don't consider myself an influencer, right? Because to be an influencer, you have to influence and take affiliate money, in my opinion, right? So there we go. But you can find the website over here, Jesse Olson. You go to marketsniper.pro, Twitter, X app over there, or the website here, right? You can go to the website there. You can come over here, hit the website there as well. Join private Discord, blah, blah, blah. We've added the dashboard, liquidity access, but go to the website, and this is what you see. The process, Sniper Elite is the only thing we have on the first page, but we do have other plans. Choose your trading path. You get the Sniper Elite, includes everything. The 2 trading bots that are 100% full automation. We added the 77 recorded coaching videos from the past. Dashboard access. Legacy sharpshooter candles 3.1 and RSI 2.0. So you get the 2 original indicators that the trading bots were built off of for manual trading. Liquidity access, Discord, cancel anytime, upgrade, downgrade, cancel, blah, blah, blah. Need help setting up the trading bot? Jump on a 1-hour video call with Alex. Take about 45 minutes, walk you through, hold your hand the entire time, and then ask questions the last 15 minutes or so. Sniper Pro. So like if you have no experience, he can set you up, right? And the good thing about keeping it cheap like this is that the first month you spend time dialing in your strategy on the trading bot. We give some ideas, right? The second month, run that strategy that you have on a paper trading account. Third month, maybe you go live with your strategy, right? So if you go live with a strategy, then of course the $49 plus, you probably need a little bit better package on TradingView, and then you also need the third party. So once you go live, it would be about $100 all in. So we're keeping it cheap for now. And if you lock in now, like many have already, you're grandfathered in. So you'll be grandfathered in. And then several people locked in the annual too. So way too cheap. I mean, you save 2 months there. It's 40. It's basically, save 2 months is like $98 or whatever. So way too cheap. Way too cheap. We added others. So if you strip down the 2 trading bots and you do everything manually, you still get everything minus the trading bots and the recorded coaching. So you still get the dashboard, liquidity, and the 2 sharpshooter candles. If you just want the liquidity access and the Discord access, then it's $9 a month. So basically buying a coffee with today's prices. And then this is the liquidity access futures, shows you big liquidations, 24 hours. Hit the refresh button. Make sure it's it's refreshed. Okay. You go in there, you see the liquidations, right? All the data, options, and we'll continue to make this better over time. The more people that get involved, the more people that sign up, the deeper we'll go on these tools as well, right? We'll have more API connections. We'll have more than Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff. So we're taking it level by level. Bitcoin spot ETF net inflow, outflow, right? Even puts in, who's doing what. So ARKB 31 million in the last 7 days. Just a couple of days ago, it was down 77 million, right? So boom. Got all the inflows, all that stuff. Indicators. Fear and greed index was 23. Extreme fear not too long ago. It's at 28. And then you got all the indicators on here as well. So it's all on there. And then you can always go back to the portal and you could do the dashboard. You could do the recorded coaching. If you're on the $49 a month plan, you get 77 videos. I mean, I went all in. On it. So there you go. With that, let's get back to it. We got a lot to cover. It's Friday. It's TGIF, and we got to blow through this. I've got a lot to do before the nanny leaves early at 1:30. So got a lot to do before then. Woo-wee. Lots to do. So we're gonna plow through this. Bitcoin, you got the HODL ETF, still bearish. You got the Bitcoin futures, still bearish. Could start closing back below the trailing dots, which never flipped green like the exchanges did. Could start closing back below target 4. And then, of course, start closing back below this dotted upward trend line. Are we on log? No. Okay, good. So there you go. Close below, signaling lower prices. This is based on the weekly chart. See if it comes back into there. It could be a fake out somewhere to there. You could probably redraw this too, right? Probably redraw it, but we'll just leave it there. It's just showing the overall trend, right? Just showing the overall trend. So if it closes back below it, then that's not good for the bulls. There was a pending buy signal yesterday, so just like the other previous days too. This crazy idea for the relief rally would be, hey, price comes all the way back down, creates bullish divergence. Any candle close below 84,680 would create bullish divergence. However it plays out, right? And Then we would expect a relief rally, aka into the Santa Claus rally, and come up to higher prices, right? And then, of course, lower prices after that. So it's possible we're going to see how the next couple of days close. It's possible we come down to these lower levels, complete the Wyckoff, get close to hitting longer term target 3. It's possible we hit bullish divergence, lower close prices, and then go into the relief rally. So I know this is a lot of speculation, but that's what we do. We speculate hard all day, every day, right? Speculate. Let's change this to yellow, right? And then however the yellow plays out, right? That's what we watch. That's what we're watching. So we'll see. If we get that bullish divergence and a breakout down here of the more aggressive down, like it would have to come all the way back down first. And if we get that bullish divergence and another breakout of the downward aggressive line, then I might play the relief rally. Then, of course, once we see a lower high, then may play to the downside as well. Sometimes I short Ethereum instead of Bitcoin, and sometimes I play the relief rally on an altcoin or something. So I don't know about if I'm going to play it on Bitcoin or not, but if we get this exact setup, then I might just play it on Bitcoin then. Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's go to log. Let's go to, let's just take a look at log for right now. Let's see. Let's widen this out a little bit. So had the sell signal. We talked about this back on October 10th. We made this chart on October 10th, and we put this fractal out on October 10th, and we covered this yellow line yesterday, blah, blah, blah. You can see the red trending dots, right? That's the way I have it set up. Eventually, it's going to come back for a retest. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe in February, right? So who knows how the price action is going to play out exactly. This week's not over. We still have Saturday, or we have the rest of today, and then we have Saturday, and then Sunday. It's possible it closes down below it. It's possible it's the next week, and then that's what I'm talking about. If it completed the Wyckoff or this week or next week, below $80,000, just above target 3, or it wicks down to target 3, it's possible, but they'll probably front run my third target, then relief rally, right? Then the next drop hits target 3 for sure, and then retest the 200-week moving average, which could be like 5 to 6 5 to 6 months, right? So, and then we'll find out if it hits target 4 like it did in the last bear market. Then we'll find out if it hits target 5 like it did in the last bear market. Then we'll find out if it puts in bullish divergence like it did in the last bear market. So a lot of speculating going on, but that's what we do. And then buy the right dip, right? So buy the right dip. However it plays out, if there's bullish divergence, higher low, let's go, right? Buy the right dip. So right now is catching a falling knife. Right now, the weekly chart is bearish. Right now, the 2-week chart is bearish. Right now, the 3-week chart is bearish. Right now, the monthly chart, MACD bearish crossover happened, right? There's so much. So let's go back to the candles, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We talked about it yesterday, but some of you are new, and we're gonna keep talking about it, right? We're gonna keep covering it all the way down. We keep covering it on the next breakout, blah blah blah. And what we've talked about is this is based off of the markets doing like a 30% correction. If the NASDAQ, if the SP 500 did like a 40, 50, 60% correction, 60 something percent correction, like 2008, or an 80% NASDAQ correction like the dot-com bubble. If it did something like that, I would expect Bitcoin to go much lower, because Bitcoin has never experienced that type of a market correction ever. It's only experienced like 30 something percent. And Bitcoin has had 76 to 80% corrections, right? So, if the NASDAQ can go 30% below the 200-week moving average, then probably see Bitcoin much lower, right? Like if the NASDAQ was going if the NASDAQ was having like a 60% correction, probably be looking at, Bitcoin having a major correction, maybe one of the biggest corrections it's ever had. But we don't know if that's true or not, right? We don't know if that's true or not. We're not calling for the dot-com bubble like crash, because that would be in hindsight. But we're calling a local top right now on NASDAQ and SP 500. So there was a peak. Looks like there is a lower peak, aka a lower high, and now we have a pending sell signal on the daily chart, and other reasons why. And of course, Bitcoin led the way again, similar to over here in end of 2021, early 2022. Bitcoin was already correcting and was already down 30+%, and then the Nasdaq and SP 500 followed Bitcoin to the downside. And in hindsight, MicroStrategy led the way for Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy led the way for Bitcoin again, right? So we've got the canaries in the coal mine all dialed in, right? We got them dialed in. So 2-week chart, RSI sell signal, regular sell signal. 3-week chart. I mean, we've covered all this. 3-week chart, sell signal below the trailing dots, sell signal below the trailing dots. Price is coming back to 200-week moving average. When? We don't know. Like if you go from this sell signal below the trailing dots to over here, it took 147 days. Sell signal. This fractal would play out 154 days, 133 days, 147 days, right? So probably April, right? Retest the 200-week moving average probably by April. Monthly chart. There's other reasons too, like come back to the trailing dots in the monthly chart, come back to the trailing dots in the monthly chart. Long-term bearish divergence on the monthly chart. RSI sell signal happened on November. MACD bearish crossover happened and closed below November, right? You had the bullish crossover in March, bearish crossover in January 2022. You had the buy signal back here, October 2023. You had the sell signal way back here. So doesn't mean we couldn't see a bounce, right? We could see a bounce, but that would be probably around the relief rally for a month or two, right? So all the indicators that we watched back in 2021, 2022, calling the top, we're watching the same indicators. The same ones that worked in the past are the same ones that worked at the bottom, and now the same ones that are working at the top. So keep it simple. Stay with what works. You don't need to do XYZ, data points, on-chain data, right? Blah, blah, blah. They didn't help last time. Why would they help now? Or the on-chain data, quote unquote, experts are reading their own on-chain data incorrectly. I remember 2022, I lost a lot of bullish cyber friends because they were posting on-chain data, and they're on-chain data, quote unquote, experts getting paid by the on-chain data websites. And I would redraw their on-chain data. I'm like, I think you're reading this incorrectly. And we get into battles, and I just don't even have the energy to do that anymore. I don't even care. So they didn't learn. The same ones that were doing it in 2022 are doing it again in 2025. End of 2025, right? So they're posting the same on-chain data. They're posting the same bullish outlook, and I don't even have time or energy to go correct them again. It's like unbelievable, but I believe it, right? So here we go. Here we go. It's a bounce until proven otherwise, and even though it wicked higher, it actually closed lower. So the close lower tells me more than the wick higher, right? So it was liquidity grab. People love to say that liquidity grab. It's the buzzwords. Um, let's go down the line though. We'll come back to Nasdaq's not too far away. Uh, Ethereum, was that it for the bounce? I don't know. Is that it for the bounce? Right, bounced up. Now it's breaking back down. There is a pending sell signal, but it is above the trailing dots. Trailing dots have broken out as well. It's somewhere in between. So you wouldn't want candle closes back below the trailing dots. You wouldn't want if you're in a bullish position. But if you're in a buy, do you close your position once there's a sell, right? Those are things you have to decide. Uh, those are filters you have to decide on the training bots as well. Like, are you only taking buys above the training dots? Are you only closing positions, right, and then getting back into another one after that? That's Ethereum. Not looking good though, right? So it could have an RSI sell signal as well, along with the sell signal, and that would have been it for the bounce from wick to wick. I mean, it's a 31% bounce. Doesn't look big on here, but again, it could put in bullish divergence similar to Bitcoin, maybe even retest the 200-week moving average, and then maybe a relief rally, like a more significant one. And then that would be, 31% bounce, not bad, but maybe if it comes down lower, then you get a bigger relief rally from down here, who knows where, and you get like a 50% relief rally. I don't know. We'll see. NASDAQ is what we're covering. Has not had a significant retracement since the April 2025 breakout, right? This is a massive move lower from the sell signal down 24%, from wick to wick 26%. It's been an uptrend ever since. It was big moves, and then it was the climb the wall of worry, the crab market, continuing to go higher and higher and higher. Looks like it topped out October 30th with the highest wick, comes down his target one, and then we were talking about this could be a lower high. This could be a lower high. Obviously not confirmed, but you got this pivot point, you got a lower low. If you get a lower high, it'll be confirmed once it takes out 24,000. So it'll be in hindsight. But you get a sell signal back below the trailing dots. That's basically confirming the lower high, in my opinion. But officially, it would confirm the lower high with a lower low at 24,000. So that's the way I look at it. So if you're seeing the lower high in real time and you get a sell signal below the trailing dots, I mean, how much more confirmation do you need? If you're waiting for this pivot point down here, you're never going to pull the trigger. You're never going to pull the trigger if you're waiting for something like that. So that's the NASDAQ has a pending sell signal and does not close until I think it's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's see. So that's what we're watching over here. SP 500 does not have it yet, but could be a bearish engulfing candle. Could be next. Could start closing back below it. See NASDAQ. Yep. What else? NASDAQ weekly chart already had a RSI sell signal. Already had a MACD bearish crossover, right? So that's another thing. And then you're looking at probably bearish divergence on the weekly chart. Nope, not bearish divergence, but on the weekly chart. But a possible lower high. You can see it's more defined over here. So Possible lower high in the weekly chart. RSI sell signal on the weekly chart. MACD bearish crossover on the weekly chart. And then the daily chart. Let's see, 2-week chart. Training dots are down there, 23,318. This was bearish divergence here on the daily chart. So that's bearish divergence. This could be the lower high, right? So bearish divergence comes down, hits target 1, comes up, looks like it's going to put in a lower high, and now it's breaking down with a pending sell signal. So you had the FOMC all the way up in here, waking up on the lower time frames, getting everyone excited. And it's not the first move usually. It's usually the second move after the FOMC. And here we are, just complete breakdown after that. So from that point, it's already down 3%. So from wick to wick. SP 500, most likely bearish divergence. Yep, can confirm that. Bearish divergence, bearish engulfing candle. Maybe sell signal in the near future. Has not hit target 1 yet, but it's still valid because it didn't take out that wick up there, in my opinion. We'll circle back. Algorand continues to get crushed, right? Could put in additional bullish divergence, but right now it's in a downtrend until proven otherwise. So maybe it puts in bullish divergence, maybe not, downtrend until proven otherwise. We've been saying that it's below a down sloping 200-week moving average. We hope for bounces, right? We hope for bounces, but we're not going to force it. Weekly chart. Why did we think that? Well, the weekly chart is also bearish, well below the trailing dots, right? So downtrend until proven otherwise. Even if there was a bounce, we didn't expect to make new all-time highs. We didn't expect for prices to get back up above 61 cents as an example, because the trailing dots. We were expecting, if we saw a bounce up into the trailing dots, maybe up to the 200-week moving average, and then something like this if it was going to be bullish, but it's continuing to drop. XRP still bearish on the weekly chart. At some point, we will expect a relief rally into the trailing dots. When, we don't know. Maybe around the same time Bitcoin and Ethereum do, but ultimately we're expecting lower prices longer term, right? The weekly chart is bearish. Are we on log? Yeah. No wonder why. Okay. Good job, Jesse. XRP. So still bearish on the weekly chart. You start getting candle close below here, and we're going to see prices at the 200-week moving average, right? So it's trending that way. It's almost identical to the MSTR MicroStrategy that I pointed out. Once you start getting a weekly candle close, this pivot point over here, then MicroStrategy came down here, right? Cardano, bearish. I mean, we hoped for a bounce. We literally hoped for a bounce, and it came up to 48 cents, and that was it. We hoped for a bounce. It's just so bearish. It's just so bearish. We really wanted a bounce. It's true. We really wanted a bounce. We wanted a significant bounce, but we're not getting one. We're not getting one. So just keep the downtrend until proven otherwise. Like I've been saying, it's going to take time for the ship to get turned around, but it's just bearish. How many times do we hope for it, right? But weekly trending dots, just bearish. We hope for that bounce. Got a little bit of a bounce on Chainlink, but Weekly chart is still bearish. XLM, chop suey. I mean, we were trying. We were trying to find a bullish chart. It's just we're not going to force it though. That was the pivot point that I'm talking about on XRP. You get a close below it, we're going to see lower prices. Bitcoin dominance flat. Could be coming back up for this move up here. It's possible. Spiked. Maybe it spikes again, but we've only hit one longer term target so far on Bitcoin dominance, and that's it. That's it. Still bearish on the weekly chart, but it's pushing up higher. So when that happens, usually Bitcoin, while Bitcoin's in a bear market, if it's pushing up higher on the Bitcoin dominance, altcoins are going to drop even further. VIX is spiking on daily chart. Just got rejected at the training dots though. Dollar drop. So Bitcoin would be dropping more if the dollar wasn't dropping as well, right? So we're going to see if it's going to recover, see if it puts in a higher low, right? If it puts in a higher low, however it does, and then comes out, then if so, then we'll see some higher targets being hit, right? So we'll see. If it takes out this pivot point over here, then the targets are no longer valid. If it puts in a higher low, then we would expect target 1 to get re-hit, and then possibly target 2, and then possibly the 200-week moving average over there. Let's look at the Magnificent 7. That's turned into like the Magnificent 20. TQQQQ, pending sell signal. Some option contracts are expiring today on December 12th. And they kept it propped up until then. And now they're pushing down the last day. So a lot of contracts are probably expiring with a little bit of a gain or break even or whatever, depending on what it is. So people are complaining about crypto market being manipulated. The options market is way more manipulated because there's expiration dates, right? So the more Bitcoin ETFs, the more futures, Bitcoin futures, the more Bitcoin future XYZ leverage with expiration dates, the more Bitcoin would be manipulated. But if it would have just remained spot, it would have been much more difficult to manipulate Bitcoin. So, but they started creating paper Bitcoin to that end of December 2017. So 8 years later, they continued to build more and more paper Bitcoin, and they're just going to be able to manipulate it much easier over time. And but you know, still great for swing trading, right? It's just not great for hodlers. Great for swing trading, not great for hodlers. That's my viewpoint on it. Let's go down the list. SMCI. Someone asked me on the live stream about shorting SMCI. You could, like I said, especially if it gets back below the 200-week moving average. I'm just less confident about it. I'm more confident about shorting it up in this area. But after a huge move down, I'm less confident. Could you? Sure. It's bearish. It's just after a nice bounce and it's putting in lower highs and you're getting sell signals, I prefer shorting it over there. PLTR could be putting that lower high. There is a gap up here to be aware of. Lower high, NVIDIA, miniature gap, but lower highs. Another sell signal a couple days ago. Amazon. You do have a gap over here, right? This gap was filled already. That gap was filled. This gap was what, a few percent? 5.5%. What else? Is this gap down here? Yeah, that's a gap. It's a small gap. It was partially filled, but we'll put it on. Another gap. That gap was filled. Tiny. I don't even want to put this gap on there, but tiny baby gap. uh, so that one's probably not significant enough to fill. If it does, just call it coincidence. But this is a small gap, but this is a bigger gap. So this is something I'd pay attention to more, and it probably lines up with the targets too. That's probably around target 3 or target 4 to the downside. So that's Amazon, Meta, partially filled that gap, partially filled that one. So maybe it's not significant enough to fill it in the near future, but maybe one day, right? Small gap, 13% gap down by the 200-week moving average. So that remains interesting at $400. Gap down here, and this is why I like to look at not just the futures, but you got a gap down there on the NASDAQ, kind of lines up with some of the Magnificent Sevens, smaller gap, gappy. So those are gaps that probably going to get filled because there's a few of them together. So maybe not a huge gap like a 10 to 15% gap, but when you start adding up multiple gaps over here, probably going to come back and retest at some point. You got a high, you got the lower high, you got the sell signal, just like NASDAQ futures, and hasn't retested 200-week moving average in a very long time. Got very, very close over here in April. Very, very close, but has not retested it since March 2023. Very similar to Bitcoin. This is a straight parabolic move, right? This was the correction before the parabolic move. 62%. That's a lot. So could be a swift move down. It's possible. How much time do we have? What are we at? 45 minutes. So what else? Russell did make a new all-time high, but could just be taking out the wick. Could be a bearish engulfing candle. Google, that could have been the all-time high at November 25th. Starting to roll over a little bit. Microsoft, similar thoughts. Kind of look at this is a big gap for a big company, right? This is a big company, large market cap. What is the market cap? Market cap is 3.5 trillion, but it's already down 15%. So what was that? 15%, 10% of 3.5 trillion. 300 billion, right? So it's already down 300 billion. 350, call it $400 billion. It's already down 400 billion. And that would have been like $1 trillion, right? So a market cap loss of $1 trillion, that's pretty significant, right? And then come all the way back down here, and you're looking at more than a $1 trillion correction down to the 200-week moving average. Probably going to happen. Probably. You get a big gap. What is this gap? This gap. It gapped up overnight while you were sleeping 7%. 7% doesn't sound like a lot, but on a large market cap like Microsoft, that's a lot. So buy signal followed by gap and go. Double top. So there you go. What else? I don't even feel tired. I don't know why I'm yawning. Am I boring myself? There's no one to talk to. There's no comments. There's no comments. I'm just talking to myself and Gert. What up, Gert? Oh boy. I mean, there's 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people on here, but no one to talk to. Dow Jones, bearish divergence. So it did make a new all-time high, but there is bearish divergence. Apple, December 3rd. Tesla, is it putting in a lower high? We've been talking about it, we've been covering it after it hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside. Netflix. This is similar to like Microsoft and the NASDAQ, where there was a bunch of gaps. There's no gap here on Netflix, but it came back to this area. What we just saw. Gapped down, but did not gap up, and price still came back all the way down over here. So it did retrace all the way back down from that April pivot point. It just seems like more and more stocks and crypto assets are coming all the way back down to the April pivot point. Bitcoin has already come back down to this area from April 2025, right? Pretty sure. Let's call it there. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So Bitcoin already came back down. Netflix already came back down to the April pivot point. Bitcoin came down lower. So bring that all the way down to the wick pivot point, 74,000, or the candle close at 76,000. That's what we're watching for. And that would, coming all the way down, would complete the Wyckoff 100%. As of right now, it's already completed like, so if that move, probably more. 39%, probably more than 92%. Whatever, doesn't matter. So that's the Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin. That's the Wyckoff. What else? I think that's about it. Let me just MicroStrategy. Still on this path to possibly 227 before coming back down and retesting 200-week moving average, right? Maybe it happens sooner. Maybe it hits this pivot point down here first, 161, then rallies, same time Bitcoin does, and then comes back down and retests the 200-week moving average in February, just like Bitcoin does. It would be crazy. It would be something to see. Do we have Rivian finally hitting the 200-week moving average? So Rivian just got rejected off 200-week moving. We drew this out a while back, right? Down, up, down, up. Gets rejected again. Maybe rejected again. And then maybe the bigger breakout to fill the gap and the longer term. So that played out, just not exactly how we drew it up, but it played out what we were thinking. The overall thought process was retest the 200-week moving average, right? So breakout, retest the 200, get rejected, maybe even spike above, then get rejected, build up some more energy, build up some more momentum, and then break out again, possibly, and fill the gap. The only thing is, if the overall NASDAQ and SP 500 go through a bigger correction, maybe that won't be the case. But you got to trade each one individually, because this move here fills the gap. So there's a lot of reasons why to fill that gap. Longer term target 1, kind of where the 200-week moving average started. This pattern breakout, it's bullish on the daily chart. It's bullish on the weekly chart, right? Let's take this off. No, let's not take it off. Ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Taking out these pivot points over here on the weekly chart. 2-week chart is bullish, right? 3-week chart is bullish. You had a buy signal over there on the 3-week chart. Monthly chart, not so much. So as the higher time frames start to flip bullish, could just consolidate and take some more time, right? Still could take a few more months, but retest the 200-week moving average is what our first thought was. And then, of course, if break through that, fill the gap. There's a gap over here left open from over here, and then see if it starts flipping this area. If so, if it starts flipping this area, this area, this area for sure, 37, we could see a much bigger move, but not as of yet. But daily chart is currently bullish. While it's putting in bearish divergence. So, what else? I think that's about it. I don't see any requests. Friday is quiet today. 1,200 viewers. That's it. It was like 130,000 December 1st. It was like 20,000 on the live stream, and then the recorded version was like 130,000. So I haven't looked at the 10-year yield in a while. 10-year yield is bullish. So two-year yield. Okay. I don't know why I'm yawning. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. QNT, Litecoin. What else? SQQ. This is a bearish ETF. 3x bearish ETF. It's designed to lose money, though, so you wouldn't want to be in it too long. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we'll call it here. But yeah, don't want to see it. If you're a permable, you don't want to see it kind of close below the trading dots. But if you're a swing trader, probably want to see that. You probably want to see price go down to $76,000 to $74,000. Complete the Wyckoff, relief rally, Santa Claus rally, followed by the next bigger drop. That would be a swing trader's dream. So it's already been great so far. So we'll see. With that, I hope you have a good rest of your day on this TGIF great day. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good weekend. Spend some time outdoors if you can, if it's not too cold, like in Orange County, California. Spend some time with family, like I said, and have a good rest of your weekend. And we will see you on the next live stream Monday. Adios.